Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. So we've just seen our first weekend of the Premier League, but here's my review of it. I'm going to go through some teams, some performances that I really liked or disliked, and we're going to go through them with a surgical knife. So let's start off with Spurs. So on first thoughts, I think Spurs look really good. Against Southampton, of course, you have to apply some Southampton tax to it because they don't look that good. But Kulusevski, I must say, he looked really good. When I watched him, he gave me De Bruyne vibes. The amount of power, the amount of forcefulness that he created from his movement, I don't know what it is. I think it really improved over the summer. And scoring 2 goals and having a really big impact on the game, it showed that he can be a reliable figure as Son and Kane are for Spurs. Now, when it comes to the role of Kane, what I want to know is Harry Kane gonna be in that deeper position? Is he gonna be closer to goal? I wanna know what the use of Harry Kane is, because he linked well with some players yesterday. He got on the end of some shots, some crosses, but I still think Harry Kane, there's still a bit that he needs to go in terms of getting back to what he's so good at, and that's being in the box. Because last season, it was I would say I wouldn't say it's a bad season by his standard, but he didn't get as many goals as his ability deserves. So I think I want to see Harry Kane closer to goal and affecting play a lot closer to goal instead of being that pass on the transition to release Kulusevski and Son. But I think Spurs look really, really good, and I think we're going to see some big things, even though it's sad from my perspective because I do not want Spurs to do well. There are rivals for top four. But yeah, Spurs look really good and onwards and upwards for them. The next team I wanted to speak about was Liverpool. Now, I feel like with Liverpool, due to their midfield problems, they're going to have some problems controlling games this season. When Thiago went off, I feel that Fulham really stepped up a gear. I think the replacement for Henderson is absolutely needed because, look, when Henderson plays, obviously he has that leadership ability, he has that passion, hard work, desire, whatever it is, energy. But I must say his abilities are on the wane. So what that means is that when Henderson is closer to goal, he really looks like a sore thumb because that's not his position. He shouldn't be as part of the front line. Jordan Henderson should be there building up play and just recycling the ball. That's what he's good at, and that's what his decline has meant that he has to play, because in the past, he could interchange with Trent. Trent comes inside, Henderson covers for him. No, it was really good cohesion between them. But now, because Henderson isn't as, what's the word? His physicality has declined. I feel that Henderson is going to be a problem for Liverpool, and they really need to replace him now. I think their midfield has been an issue for so long, but they've papered over the cracks. Thiago's looked good. Naby Keita has looked good in spurts. Curtis Jones is young. He can't fully be relied upon yet. James Milner, again, an old player. Oxlade-Chamberlain, always injured. So they really need that midfield reinforcement. Otherwise, look, it's going to be a long season for them. They're playing on so many fronts. The World Cup is this year. Things are going to look challenging for them. So they need that midfield. But if I really speak about Fulham quickly, I think they looked impeccable yesterday. Their mid block, like I made a tweet that's going to be pulled up beside me. I made a tweet a few days ago. And I feel that when it comes to mid blocks and that 4-4-2 block, it's becoming very popular in the Premier League. Arsenal do it, City do it, Palace do it, Brighton do it, Fulham do it. So many teams do it, and what it means is that you can turn a mid block and you can press straight away, because a 4-4-2 is one of the best formations that you can press in. Fulham looked really good. Mitrovic looked fantastic yesterday, and it's going to be another season where people are going to be writing him off because of his pre-Premier League form. But I think Alexander Mitrovic, you don't score or you don't break the championship record for goals if you're not a good player. We saw that with Ivan Toney. Now it's going to be Alexander Mitrovic's turn. I think Fulham are going to stay up this year. I even said that too. The tweet is going to be up here. I said that. So you can't be like, oh yeah, Rimedi's flip-flopping. I said that. As well, I've spoken about some teams, but I feel that same or similar patterns are happening with Chelsea. Their attack looks incredibly stagnant. Raheem Sterling is going to do a big job in terms of what's the word, bringing some impetus and bringing some individuality to that front line, because Havertz is done, man. Havertz, really, you want to rely on Kai Havertz? I know he has the Champions League final goal. I know. But Kai Havertz is just someone that you can't rely upon to be your main striker every single season, and that will score you 15, 20, 25 league goals a season. Raheem Sterling, he's part of the way to improving that attack. I think they need a right winger. I think they need another striker. Broja, I'm not sure if he's going to be on that top level. I think he's a great player, but yeah, he's still young. You need to find players that you can truly rely upon in this league. Chelsea, they looked incredibly stagnant. Like, building up, they're impeccable. getting to the second third, they're impeccable. It's just the final third, it's like they hit a wall. And we saw that with Tuchel last year. Even though Chelsea picked up the win, which they deserved to, because Everton didn't really look that good. I just think, yeah, Chelsea gonna need to improve. Chelsea, yeah, they're gonna need to improve on that. I think Ben Chilwell and Reece James yesterday looked ineffective, particularly Reece James, because I don't know if he's carrying extra weight, but he just didn't look to be himself. Like he's getting into the box, the decision making is not there or not as good as it was last season. So of course we can't write him off. Ben Chilwell coming back from that ACL really looked anonymous yesterday. I think when Kukurea came on, he really changed the game for them or provided a spark that Chilwell couldn't. That's why I think maybe Kukurea is a great signing, as I mentioned on my TikTok page, and Chilwell, he might just have to be relegated to the bench because you don't want to have to rely on Marcos Alonso for another season. But as I mentioned, Chelsea, they're going to need to improve. The transfer window is still open. They're linked with De Jong. They're linked with other players, Fofana as well. I must give a shout out to Koulibaly and Thiago Silva yesterday. But yeah, I think moving forward, Chelsea really, really need to improve. And yeah, that's pretty much it with Chelsea. When it comes to Man United, we're seeing similar problems. We're seeing David De Gea not being able to come off his line. We're seeing Bruno treating the ball as a hot potato. Similar problems are continuing from last season. But I saw some good signs from Erik ten Hag that the build-up structure can be improved. But Man United do not have a six, or they do not have a player that can play out of pressure. Fred can't do it. McTominay can't do it. Eriksen is better when he's closer to goal in that right half space, the De Bruyne position I like to call him. So you need a player that is comfortable picking the ball up from the back line and progressing it forward. You need a 2022 version of Matic. I don't know who's out there. I don't know who could replace him, but I think, or 20, no, I take that back. You need a 2015 version of Matic in 2022 because look, Chelsea, Man United are going to need that. They struggle to build up from the back. I think Lissandro Martinez, as good as he is technically, he is going to be in that first phase. You need second phase players. And I feel like as well, Lissandro Martinez, he had a good game-ish on the ball, but Danny Welbeck, he was ripping him a new one. Every time he found space running in the channels against Harry Maguire and Lissandro Martinez, it's like they have the similar problem, but they have the similar problem in different ways. Harry Maguire isn't mobile enough to track runners into the channel. Lissandro Martinez, his power doesn't allow him to go with runners, as we saw with Welbeck. Brighton were denied a clear penalty. And yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Man United fans. But as I mentioned in one of my tweets, I just feel like at least the problem now is not with the system, but more so the players that you have. You need to ship a lot of players off and get a lot of new faces in. It's going to take a while, so Man United fans, you're going to have to experience some pain before you see the stars again. But yeah, that's how it's going to go in Man United. I just feel like sixth place is where they're going to finish. They'll beat a lot of teams. They'll lose a lot of teams they'll lose to a lot of teams that they shouldn't lose to. And that's how I feel about them. I think they need to improve though. And if we speak about Newcastle and Man City, again, similar patterns from last season are coming again. Newcastle looked really good against Nottingham Forest. Bruno Guimaraes, I think he's been the best midfielder or one of the best midfielders in 2022. I can't believe I said he wouldn't start for Arsenal. Bro, I was a casual back then. But yeah, Bruno Guimaraes, Jolinton, he looks really good for Newcastle right now in that midfield role. Newcastle, bro, they are looking fantastic. And if I speak about City, City again doing what they do best. And what I find so interesting about City is that they're the team that you associate with having control of every single part of the game. And with Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne in the team, two players who love playing on the transition, it's like, where do you find the balance between getting the best out of them but also trying to have as much control in the game as possible? Because when City are trying to be in control, Erling Haaland doesn't see the ball as much. Kevin De Bruyne, he might play some loose passes or crosses to no one. So it just means that I think to get the best out of them, you need to find a balance. How much control are we going to lose to unlock our two best players? And that's going to be a really interesting watch, especially in the Champions League, where teams that play on the transition are fantastic. So I think that's how I want to see City challenge their thinking. Pep Guardiola wants control. Haaland and De Bruyne want transition. So how are we going to see that them two factors interact with each other? It's going to be an interesting watch. But yeah, that's my Premier League roundup of match day 1. If you like that video, please leave me a subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. I uploaded 2 or 3 days ago, and now I'm uploading today. I'm really on this YouTube wave this season. So, as I mentioned, leave a like down below if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I've been Rimedi. You've been my loyal subscribers. Take care, and Salaam Alaikum.